welcome to Manchester. Hello, I'm Microsoft MVP Tom Morgan. It is very late and I'm very tired, but I've arrived in Manchester because tomorrow is the Viva Explorers Community Day, the first one, and I am excited. It's going to be a full day. It's a 9 to 5. Lots of really interesting people showing up to speak. My plan is to just listen and make notes and try and learn some things. It's going to be good fun, but right now I need to go to sleep. So I will see you tomorrow morning for the Viva Explorers Community Day. Good night. And good morning, and that feels so much better. So in a minute we're going to go down and move the car and, have some breakfast, move the car, and the whole day starts at 9 o'clock. I just counted up, there's like 12 sessions plus a panel at the end of the day. So this is going to be a really busy day. One of the things I quite like, actually, looking at the schedule, is that not all the sessions are the same length. So some are quite short and some are, up to an hour for the real detail. But I think that's really smart, actually, because it keeps it, keeps people engaged, keeps it fresh, and I think it's going to be a really good day. So this is all being run by the Viva Explorers, which is a kind of group of Microsoft MVPs, Microsoft aligned folk, who are very passionate about Viva and are really kind of spreading the word, spreading best practice, spreading how-to, spreading learnings, tips and tricks, things they've found through deploying to customers and using some of these new features. And I think this is really valuable because Viva is quite new for lots of people, myself included, and there's a lot to take on with Viva. There's a lot that's changed, there's a lot of new stuff, and if you're not completely keeping up with it every day, it can be hard to understand, what are all these different Viva products? How do they work together? What's the cadence of them? Which ones are free? Which ones are included? Which ones are extra charge? There's so many things to think about as well. And then you sort of layer on what's the best practice. How should you be using them? How should, what value can they bring to your organization? What value can they bring to your users? So for all those reasons, I think a day like this is going to be fantastic. And I think the work that Viva Explorers do is brilliant. To kind of really help us all understand how this stuff works and how to use it the best. So I'm excited for today, so let's get to it. Okay, so this is the hotel I stayed in that I was just talking to you in, and right across the street is this building here, University Academy 92, and this is where we're going to be based for today. And as we're walking in, actually we should say today's event is being supported by the Microsoft Community Global Initiative, which is like a fantastic, great initiative Microsoft are running to kind of promote community events and just kind of help. I don't really know if this is true of their stated aims, but like it really feels like they're helping people come out of this hybrid area, get people together again, get communities fused together again, both in hybrid and in person, so we can all kind of get together, because when we get together, it's about sharing knowledge, it's about sharing what works and what doesn't, and it's about making great connections and kind of getting to know each other and fostering that great sense of community. So that's really, really good. So big thank you to them for making this event happen and giving us a nice building to spend the day in.
joining us today. My name is Mark Furr. I'm the Global Community Initiative Lead for Microsoft. Microsoft, actually, this is the space that we have in this wonderful university. So glad you guys are joining us today to talk all things Viva. So just wanted to give you guys just a little bit of an update. This is one good thing about Microsoft. We always get the ability to dog food, some early release stuff. So this is my digital twin. I couldn't get enough gray hair in there though, so we have to talk about that.
We've got the heart of the Viva Explorers, and we're MVPs, and we're operating under NDAs. And we've got this group of us, and we're always looking for more MVPs to join us.
The culture gap exercise is a nice, simple one to do. Current state, desired future state, and look at the gap between them. And that can give you some steer on, okay, if we're doing X, how could we do X in a way that engenders filling some of those culture gaps that we've got.
We are building the employee life cycle completely, the complete life cycle, and we're seeing, we list all the challenges that we have, and we listed all the platforms that we have. So instead of doing, oh, the HR can solve this, we have the life cycle, and then we have all the platforms that come along, and of course Viva is part of that.
So what I have on my screen is Microsoft Teams. I'm logged in the browser, but this works on the mobile, desktop app. What you can see is the first thing I can see when I log in is my intranet. I, as an employee, can see the landing. Hopefully your intranet has a better name than that. And I can see that I have my news articles.
I touch on how Viva Learning is built, because I think this is really interesting, because it will show you how it surfaces that information to people. So at the bottom we've got the data layer, and that's all built on Microsoft Graph. So all of those rich user signals that are across 365 enable Microsoft to create this highly intelligent system that can serve up the right content at the right time.
What we're talking about is giving the right knowledge, the right information to the right people at the right time, at the time they need it. Okay, so that's what we're talking about with Viva topics and topics in the flow of work.
This is like really empty up here. There's nothing here. And the reason why it's empty, all three things were flawed. All three things relied on people to opt in. They had to opt in to share. They had to opt in to contribute. They had to opt in just to even reach out and ask someone else how to do something differently. All of that is opt-in. So we realised that all these things wouldn't kind of work. And we were scratching our heads at the time, how are we going to deal with this bit? And luckily, a chance encounter in an Ignite hallway led to Viva Topics. So I literally walked down the hallway, I walked into Naomi Moneypenny Square on, and she went, I've got an idea for you.
They're kind of seeing different things. Now throw in the pace of change, not only for the full organisation, but for individuals in that. We're seeing new tools and services. We've thrown all sorts of Viva stuff at you today, all sorts of new ones coming on there, other sort of technology services.
Numbers count. So we are often talking about the research that Microsoft's done, the scientific research. I back this up with things like the ONS, who have demographic surveys around the way people work. But the biggest thing that most clients come to us about is, how do I get people to be more productive? How do I stop the cost of people leaving? How do I attract great talent? You know, it's a very buoyant market out there for employees, but we all have a very different way of assessing the organisations that we work for now. We've all been empowered over the last couple of years to have more choice and to actually make that choice far more strongly than we used to. Before, it used to be, you'd go to an interview and you were being interviewed. Now it seems that most people who are going to an interview, they're equally interviewing the company that they're going to work for. And that's the right way. It should be. So they're asking the questions. How are we going to work? So these sorts of numbers really highlight some of the challenges that a lot of organisations think about anecdotally, but don't necessarily have the stats to back it up.
So we've come to the end of the day. I didn't really do loads of kind of filming throughout the sessions because that's not really the point. If you want to go to these sessions, I can highly recommend them. It has been an intense day. It's been like 8 hours worth of sessions. I have learned so much stuff. It's incredible. Really well structured day in terms of covering the whole breadth of what Microsoft Viva is. I think each of the sessions, and each one was no more than like 30 or 40 minutes. Each of those sessions could have been like an entire 2-hour session by themselves. The content from today could easily have been and you know, would normally be like a 5-day workshop. It's just been condensed down, so you got just the kind of what you needed to know, and nothing more. It was really, really good, really, really focused, great session, great people, great presenters. It was really, really good. So absolutely massive congratulations to the Viva Explorers for putting it all on. It is fantastic. Look out for more from the Viva Explorers coming to conferences near you. I know they're going to be in the Copenhagen one, the European SharePoint conference, which is coming in about 2 weeks' time. So look out for them there. And also from just kind of chatting with them, I know they're going to be doing things in future conferences as well. So that's all brilliant and worth looking out for. If you see another one of these sessions coming up, I would highly recommend you attend it, because it was absolutely fantastic. This venue in Manchester is amazing as well. It's a relatively new venue. I think it opened in March kind of 2020, which is the worst time to open a venue. But since then, you know, they've kept it open. It's it's Microsoft owned space, so thank you very much to Microsoft for letting us use it. It's been a really, really, really good day. I'm really, really pleased I came, and I can't wait for the next one. And so with all of that, I'm going to let you go and have a good one, and see you on the next video.